In this video, we're going to look at quantitative variables as opposed to categorical variables. So you have to download the second file for this chapter from January 14th tab, which I've already done. Okay. And then you enter these labels. We'll need these values for the frequency distribution and these two labels also. I've already done so, so you go ahead, pause the video and enter these labels. Now I've also named the data set like we did in the first video. So go ahead and name the data columns, and if you need any help with that, you take a look at the first video. Then make sure that all the names are properly associated with the columns. Yeah. Having done that, then to create a frequency distribution, we need to first set up some initial values for the variable, and we are preparing a frequency distribution for the variable MPG, miles per gallon, a measure of gas mileage. So we need the minimum, so we can use the min function. So type min and type the name of the column, MPG. Then for max, it's MAX, MPG. Then for count, number of cases or number of observations, use count, MPG. Now range is the difference between maximum and minimum. So there is no Excel function for this. We have to calculate this value by subtracting the maximum value, subtracting the minimum value from the maximum. Okay. Now number of classes is how many classes you want to divide the miles per gallon values into. So usually it may vary from about 4 or 5 to as high as about 8, 9 or even 10. We're going to use 5 classes, so we just type in the number 5. So given the MPG range is 21.8 and we want to divide that into 5 classes, what is the class width? Okay, you take the range and divide by the number of classes you want to divide that by. Now this number is going to be not a whole nice number, so we have to convert this into something which is nice, in the sense it's a whole number, integer number. So 4.36 can be approximated into say 5. So 5 miles, each class will be 5 miles per gallon. And then the very first lower limit for the distribution, it should be a value that is less than the minimum value. So 15.5 is the minimum, so a nice round value below 15.5. So let's say 15. Okay. Now having set up these initial values, now we have to set up the upper class limit for the miles per gallon. So the very first upper class limit is the first lower class limit plus the class width. That is the first upper class limit. And the next upper class limit is the previous upper class limit plus again the class width. The class width must always come from C11, so we need to convert that into an absolute reference by pressing the F4 key. Then you copy that. So now we have 5 classes, and the last class upper limit is greater than the maximum value, so all the data points will be captured by the frequency function. Now the frequency function is what is called an array function. So there are 3 steps to array function. Step 1 is to highlight the entire range where the frequency should go, and then you enter the function itself, which is equal to frequency, and frequency has two arguments. The first one is data array, the array from where data should come from, and that is MPG. Then bins array is the miles per gallon upper limit, which is this. And we close parenthesis, and we have to end the array function in a special way, and that is to depress the shift key and the control key and keep both the keys depressed and then press the enter key, and that will enter all the formulas all at the same time. You will have the frequencies there. So now let's sum the frequencies to make sure there are 38 of them. So once again we use the auto sum function, and there are 38. Let's put a bottom border. Okay, there you have it. You have a frequency distribution for miles per gallon, the miles per gallon divided into 5 class intervals.